Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. Let's see who's here. Jada. Hey, boo. Hey. Verns, how you doing? Welcome in, everybody. DC the Purple Diva. Welcome in. Welcome in. It's me, BrownGirlBella, back to bring you more lips, lashes, and luxury. J Prophet, what's going on, sir? How you doing? Thank you for coming. Don't forget to smash that like button. Punch it right in the face. Boom. Hit that like button. Life through our eyes. Hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. How's everybody doing? I don't have a stitch of makeup on today. But guess what? These brows, perpetually prepared. All I have on is my brows, which I didn't do anything to. Just woke up like this. I love it. And I have on the Lip Glow by Dior. Isn't this packaging cute? I love this packaging. So it comes in this package. And then this tube is where the lipstick resides. Where the lip balm resides, where the lip balm resides, where the lip balm resides. And then I just slide it on. Done. Done. No muss, no fuss. No muss, no fuss. So it's an easygoing day today. I got a lot done, but I also was able to take a nap. I was able to have dinner at a decent time. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Are you guys feeling good? I thought today we would do like a free talk, an open talk, just talk about, whatever is on our minds. If you want to come up, you can come up. If you want to just stay in the chat and chat, you can stay in the chat and just chat. I'm going to start us off with the first topic, though, because this has been on my mind off and on all week. And so I thought it would be great if we could just talk about it. Off with the first topic, hang on just one second. I was like, I know I'm hearing myself in feedback mode. So I wanted to make sure that was off. Hold, please. Just one more second. All right. I don't know why it's doing that. All right. So anyway, we're back. Oh, you guys talking to each other? Okay. So what I decided to do, since this has been on my mind off and on basically all week, was just to talk about it now. And that is, are our kids spoiled? Do we really mess things up for the next generation? Hello, DOD. Hola. ¿Qué tal? What's up? You didn't answer me. I text you, but you didn't answer me. Yeah, did we spoil our kids? Did we make it harder for them to adjust in the world? But before we answer that question, let me talk about the wine today, because although I'm representing, One Hope Wine all day, every day, and I am doing a fundraiser. So if you guys want to be a part of that fundraiser, let me know. It's going to be on Facebook. So I'll need to transfer you into Facebook, because we're going to do a Facebook Live, and we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to have people up from the organization that I am sponsoring, and then we'll talk about One Hope and all that good stuff. But before there was a One Hope, there was a 90 plus. And you guys know I love 90 plus wines. This is their rosé. It is a spumante, which means it has bubbles. It can't be called champagne because champagne is only designated for the Champagne region of France. So unless it was made in that region, it cannot be called champagne. It has to be called a sparkling wine or a spumante. So this was made in Italy on the Italian grapes, which are all 90 plus grapes and above. That means they were very high quality. Same with One Hope Wine. They curate a bunch of grapes that are 90 plus, and then they make their own signature blend. So that's what this is. This is a rosé. I love it. It is pale in color with a charming effervescence. I would agree with that. It also reads, this bubbly is elegantly fruity with notes of strawberry, passion fruit, and rose petals. Now, I definitely taste the strawberry. And what I find often in some of these varietals is that I will get a fruit that's not listed in here, but I really taste it. So it might have been part of the fermentation process and it might have been mixed in, but it was mixed in such a light way that the bottler didn't even bother to put it in. So with this, although I do taste the strawberries, I also taste cherry. I sometimes also taste watermelon. So sometimes I get that taste as well. So yeah, and it also says passion fruit and rose petals. It is really pleasant. It's a really enjoyable wine, and it's priced at $9.99, so very reasonable. Very, very reasonable. Yeah, we can do that, DC. I can do that because actually this month is Autism month. So we just got something in the mail today, I think it was, about autism. So the company itself also supports nonprofit, and then we can also support nonprofits as well. So yeah, definitely link up with us so we can talk about how to do that. Michael Coffee Brewer. Ooh, okay. Darren's Coffee. Yeah, Darren's Coffee wasn't bad. I have to admit it wasn't bad, but I'm a Starbucks snob, so I love my Starbucks. So I'm gonna finish off the rest of the spumante I had while we chat. So again, if anybody wants to come up, just let me know. Perfect. Perfect. Hey, Leah. Hey. What's up, big head? You tell me what's up. What's Gucci? So yeah, did we spoil our kids for this generation? Hey, Wilsons, for real. Hey, Wilsons, how are you? So it's free talk. We can talk about whatever subject you want to talk about. I thought I'd kick it off by talking about these kids. So let me just explain to you what happened. So this week, I've really been debating back and forth whether or not I did my kids a disservice by coddling them and giving them the benefit, giving them things that I didn't have growing up. You know what I mean? And really kind of like being that kind of helicopter parent that, I'm just, swooping over, just making sure everything is okay. But if anything goes wrong, I'm ready to land and handle my business. So I think in my case, for me, one, I was the only child. So growing up as an only child, you don't have anybody to kind of bounce things off of, or, if one parent gets on your nerves, it's kind of like, there's nobody to commensurate with. You kind of just have to suck it up and take it. So for me, I grew up very kind of sheltered in that way. Like I didn't have like sleepovers with my friends. Like my very, very best friend in the world, like we didn't do like sleepovers until like a year. We had been friends for like a whole year. And then my mother would let her like come spend the night at my house. And she lived literally down the hall from me. But I had to wait a whole year. So she would come over, but nobody else could come over. So I didn't like go to people's houses and sleep over. Like I either went to her house down the hall or she went to my house down the hall. That was it. Same when I lived with my grandmother. She was like, no. I had a friend who lived in the same floor as my grandmother. And again, it took a while, but my grandmother would let me go over there to spend the night. And then she would come over to my house to spend the night. But those are the only two friends that I ever had spend the night at my house. I didn't have like big sleepovers like my daughter had where, you know, all her friends would come over with their sleeping bags and we'd make cookies and I'd make them stuff. And like all of that stuff I never had. Like, she had a tea party at American Girl when she turned like 8 or something like that. What? I was like, you better call your cousins, get this cake, eat it, and love it. I think the last birthday I remember, and I only remember it because I have pictures of it, was my 5th birthday party. That's when like all of my cousins came and we had like this big party. My daughter, my son had a party every single freaking year. Every year. First, second, third, fourth, until they got to like 13 and they was just like, nah, I just want to like have a couple of friends over for my birthday, or nah, I just want to like chill with the family for my birthday. Other than that, if they wanted a party, they got a party every single year. Friends, be patient with me since I'm trying to get everything up and running because I need this part of my purpose to get off the ground while I finish my book on raising my son. It's almost done. Perfect. Yeah, no worries, DC. When you're ready, we're here. Don't worry about that. So yeah, so other than that, like they had it good. They had it good. This whole generation, it's like they need a label on everything. Everything has a label. Oh, I got ADD. Oh, I got something else. Like everybody has like a label. Like unless you have a clear cut diagnosis from your doctor, as in like DC's case, her son has autism. So that is separate and apart from what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the kids that think that there's something wrong with them just because they don't function the same way that other people function. So it's like, for instance, my daughter would always tell me, Mom, I'm just not like the other kids. I'm just different. I have this. And I'm like, but Whoopi Goldberg has dyslexia. So it's not like it's a hindrance to you. Like use that so-called handicap to pull yourself up and do things. But you know, like when she brought home a grade, it's because of this. Like I tried hard, but it's just because of this. And I'm like, are you kidding? My father would have never let that fly. Never let that fly. I came home with a C once, and he was like, "What are you, a slacker? Like what am I raising here?" Like I got reamed. I got reamed from one end to the other. And now it seems like they just forgot about that. Like my mother would be like, oh, I don't remember ever doing that to you. Excuse me? Are you kidding me? You tortured me. Let's see what the chat is saying. They're saying hi. Hey, P and Q. Thank you for coming. I'm one of 3 and we each had one child. See? I'm one of 1, but I had 2 because again, because being an only child, I thought it would be better if I had like a sister or somebody to like bounce ideas off of or talk to or to, tell my deepest secrets to or what have you. It was kind of lonely growing up as the only child, but my mother will tell the famous story about how I was about maybe 3 or so, and my godmother or somebody asked if I wanted another sibling, and I was like, no, if I get another sibling, I'm going to flush it down the toilet. So my mother was like, see, she don't want to share nothing. She just doesn't want to be bothered with anybody. Then I'm like, how do you hold me to that? I'm 3. So why would you listen to a 3-year-old? But clearly she did, because I'm the only one. So I didn't want my children to have that. I wanted them to know that despite everything, they have each other. Even when it's them two ganging up versus me, even if they're ganging up on me, I enjoyed it because they're coming together as a team. So I was glad that my son and my daughter get along so well. And my son and my daughter still are like thick as thieves, and they're 8 years apart from each other. So they enjoy ganging up on mom every once in a while. DC said, my son loves school. They just didn't know how to educate him academically, in my opinion. Yeah. I really feel like, well, nowadays, I think there's more programs for children with special needs than there was when I was growing up. Because when I was growing up, there was nothing. There was like nothing for them. They were carted off somewhere and forgotten about and just passed along. And I don't think they did anything to really kind of nurture them and uplift them and teach them. So yeah. You wanted more, but since I got divorced, I wasn't having another outside of marriage for me. Yeah. I get it. I had 2 with my ex-husband, and then yeah, kaputs. Hey, Mr. 100 Rounds. Salute to you, sir. Thank you for coming. Don't forget to hit that button. And if you're not subscribed already, subscribe. Come on over to the Bella Brigade. Let's see, what else can I tell you about my childhood? I already told you, like, because I was the only child and my mother and my father were from 2 different religions. My mother's Baptist and my father was Catholic, Roman Catholic. So I had to go to both services. I had to go to mass and I had to go to church. So I was in church on Sunday all day long till like 2:00, from like 7 a.m. to 2. Miserable. But I can always count on the entertainment in the Baptist church because that kept me thoroughly entertained. Still here on the phone. Sorry. No problem, babes. I was on the phone with your live too. It's hard to type when you're on the phone because I just get distracted. I start typing and then I'm like, oh, something else is going on. Okay, so I just got something from the Daily News saying New Yorkers who lost relatives to COVID can get $9,000 for funeral costs. Wow. Okay. Hey, Savage. Welcome in. Salute to you. Glad you made it as well. I'm doing well. Today's wine is a rosé sparkling from 90 plus. So fruity. I'm like, I can taste it like on the glands. It's fruity, but it's not sweet. It's a dry wine, but it's so fruit forward that you can taste it like in those glands, your sweet glands. Oh, so good. Your mom was Catholic and we were raised Catholic, but now all non-denominational. Yeah, I think I was religioned out at around 14, 15. I was like, okay, I'm so done with this. I'm like, I'm so done with this. Yeah, 4 kids and they have P and Q. 4 kids. They had parties every year till they were 21. Girl. I gave it up until 13. I was going to give my daughter a quinceanera at 15, but she didn't want it. And then I told her at 16 she can have a sweet 16. If she wants a sweet 16, she didn't want it. So after 13, they stopped having parties, both of them. They were just like, I'm over it. And then when they turned 21, we did something big for them for 21. But other than that, they were like, yeah, every year they got parties. And it was always themed. It was always something active to do. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. We give a lot to our kids. Hey, C. Parker. I'm glad you caught alive as well. Thank you so much for coming. I so appreciate it. I love your avatar picture. So cute. So cute. Yeah, I was just like, they were over it. Frankly, I was over it at like 7. So if they wanted to call it then, I would have been like, okay with me. But we kept going until they were 13. And then they were like, okay, I'm done. And I was like, phew, thank God. Here's some money. Go out, have fun, and leave me alone. That's it. That's it. I got married in the church, but left before the scandal. I saw it coming out. I was done. Well, here's the thing. I did not get married in a Catholic church. That's the one thing. And I don't regret it because obviously I'm not married anymore. We're divorced. So that would have been a disaster because, the Roman Catholic Church does not believe in divorce. So we got married in a Baptist church. And if you want to see that, I did a story time on it for a Bella After Dark. You will need probably much more than what I'm sipping on right now to go through it because it was a doozy. But suffice it to say, the signs were there all day that I should not have gotten married, yet I did. So watch that. Watch that. It's very interesting. So yeah, so I think kids are spoiled. I think they have this mentality that it's just all about them. And if your world does not intersect with theirs, like now they're out of the house. So it's like out of sight, out of mind. My daughter literally will only call me when she wants something. Or she will text me like 1 sentence words or, just like asking me something out the blue. And so I said to someone recently, I was like, so if I like cut her off my phone bill, I bet you I get a call then, right? When I cut her off the phone bill, like, Mom, my phone doesn't work. Really? Mine works. What happened? Oh, I know what it is. You didn't pay the bill because you're grown now. Because her whole thing is, I'm grown. I'm out the house. I don't have to do nothing. I'm not coming back to da 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 da. I said, oh, so you're grown, so you can pay all your bills. But I still pay her phone bill. She still gets her tuition paid from me. I'm like, what? If you're independent. That means you pay for everything. I paid for my own college education. I did. I paid for my own college education. And what I couldn't get on my own, I got a Pell Grant. I got a TAP stipend, and then I got 2 scholarships. That's how I paid for school and my job. Because at that time I was still working on Wall Street from when I was in high school. So after high school, they promoted me and gave me a job outside of what I was doing in high school. So that's how I was able to get everything done. But my parents were like, we did it on our own, so let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. Now, not saying my father didn't help me any. If I needed help, he would help me. If I asked him for something, he gave it to me, no questions asked. But he wanted to see what I could do on my own. And then when I got grown and I said, all right, I'm, going to have a baby and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, I was still able to maintain my own lifestyle because I had money. My children, especially my daughter, she feels like I'm her fixer. I'm her Olivia Pope. I'm her fixer. I have to help her with everything. And I feel like, you know what? If you're grown, you should be doing everything for yourself. Is that so hard to ask? Like, do it yourself. You want to be grown when it suits you. And that's not how it works. How it works is that you choose to be a grown-up every day, all day. So when life hands you problems, you don't run back to mommy. You go on and handle your business. Like an adult. Like an adult. You want to be treated like an adult? You need to act like an adult. All right, I'm going to drop the ladder down now. I think DOD said he wanted to come up and talk about it. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about these little bansy PMC children. So good. So good. Just checking the chat to see if I missed anything. Okay. So what do you think? I know DC, I think it was DC. Was it DC? No, it wasn't DC. It was somebody else that said that they're still paying their child's phone bill too. But I'm serious. I'm going to kick her off. She's going to be 23. She just got an upgrade on her phone, courtesy of mom. And check this out. Okay, this is how I know I've sheltered my daughter too much. So I got my upgrade in September. Excuse me, for my birthday. I was like, treat myself well. Let me get my upgrade for my phone. So she sees it because we have a shared plan. And she's like, oh, mom, my phone is acting up. So I was like, okay, your phone is acting up and it's old or whatever. I was like, I just got my upgrade and you're eligible for your upgrade. I was like, why don't you just upgrade it? I said to upgrade it, stop spoiling our children. True that. So I'm just talking now about how my daughter got her upgrade for her phone. So she said to me, I need a phone because my phone is acting up. Now, the phone that she had was my old phone that I got when I did my last upgrade before I got this phone. So she had that phone. And so it's probably 3, maybe 4 years old now. She says she needed another phone. Hey, Easted, hello. Thanks for coming. So I said, I just got an upgrade. You can get an upgrade on your phone. And then I looked to see, based on the phone that she wanted, what the upgrade would be. And I said, oh, well, it's no money down. And it's $20. Yeah, it was like 20, maybe $25, but no more than that. $25 to $20 a month. This girl said, "Oh, I can't afford that." I was like, "Oh, okay, fine." So then here comes Christmas rolls around. She starts talking about it again. Yes, I got my upgrade. He said my Beyonce upgrade on my cell phone. So Christmas rolls around. She's like, want my phone. She starts hopping about the phone again. Hey, Jenna, chicken nugget. Thanks for coming, honey. So she starts hopping about it again. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to do it for you. It's $20, $25 a month. I'll just upgrade it for you. Oh, Mom, thank you so much. Da, da, da. I said, yeah, happy birthday. Merry Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas first. Happy birthday in advance. And that's it. So she's like, oh, she's so happy. So now I'm like, you got 3 jobs. You live in an apartment. You should be able to now sustain yourself. So I'm like, yeah, it's time to let go. It's time for you to go ahead on and get your phone bill in your name and do what you need to do for yourself. Am I right or wrong? Hey, James Money.
I'm trying to figure out why it took so
like
long for you to come to that conclusion.
Yeah,
why
she was
did
like
it take you so long to
$20.
come to that conclusion?
Huh? When did what?
So why did it take you so long for you to come to that conclusion?
To do it for her? I mean, to stop paying the phone bill?
Right.
I don't know. I think it's because I spoil her. I know I spoil her. I know I spoil both. I spoiled both of them, but I was spoiled too. But my spoiled and their spoiled were 2 different things. Like my spoiled, I was kind of grateful for it, and I knew not to take advantage of it. I knew what a blessing that was to be able to be 12, 13 years old, to get your father's credit card, to go into a store and pop down on some lip gloss. I knew what that meant, that he trusted me enough to say, here's my card, go do what you got to do. Whereas I think my kids feel like they are owed that. They are owed that because I'm supposed to do that, because I'm their mother. I'm supposed to do all of that for them.
Right, but why do they have that way of thinking? Why is their mindset that way?
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because I never gave them that mindset. Easted, thank you so much for the $5 blessing. I appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, officially Coco. Welcome in. Candyland Jonathan, hello, welcome in. Guys, don't forget to smash that like button in the face. And then also, if you're not subscribed, come on over to the Bella Brigade. Join the squad. Hit that button down below to join the membership. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know why they feel so entitled. Because it's not about just giving them things. It's about them feeling that they're entitled for those things. That's getting to me.
But the reason why they feel that way, Bella, is because you were there. You did give them everything. They didn't have to earn it like you had to earn it. Like I had to earn it coming up. We had to earn it before it wasn't just given to us all the time.
Right.
Nowadays we teaching our children to just expect to get whatever they want. And then when they don't get it, they have the attitude as to, you don't love me. Why all of a sudden now you're not giving me what I want? Yeah, I'm 25, 26, 27, but I still am supposed to get what I want. And that's because of the difference in how we were raised. You and I had that conversation earlier.
Yeah.
It's a difference in how we were raised. I don't feel that me earning what I wanted was bad for me. You know, that built character. That made me appreciate what I got because I earned it instead of just given to me.
Right.
But we're not doing that with our children these days. These days we're just giving them what they want because we're supposed to be, I don't know, woke parents. Is that we know that we understand? We're trying to give them what we didn't have instead of making them
Right.
earn.
I can't even answer that. I can't even answer that question. DC said her son feels entitled to autism on all. Yeah, I just think that this whole generation of kids now are very self-entitled, and they feel that this is something that they are owed rather than something that was hard won. Like me getting A's in school was hard work. You know, was me studying, was me cracking the books and doing what I needed to do. So when I was able to bring home those things, I knew that that pleased my parents. And when my parents were pleased, they would do things for me. So I
Right.
was able to get like the game stations, and my bed was all tricked out the way I wanted my bedroom. I got a TV from my grandmother one year. I think I turned 12 or 13, something like that. I got a TV. I mean, I got things, but I always felt like I had to still work to get that.
Well, no,
And to
you
keep
earned
it,
it.
I
You
had to
earned
still
them.
work.
But Bella, you earned them. That's what it was. You
Yeah.
earned them. You earned those perks. And so, but these days we're not doing that. We're just
No,
giving. We're not making them earn it.
exactly.
And we keep saying that they grow up feeling entitled. That's not entirely true either, because if we're making them earn it, they can't feel that entitlement. They feel the entitlement because they're just given what just by asking.
Right. Or just by saying that that's what they want.
Right.
Brian said, a man don't work, a man don't eat. Bloop.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And you don't get the biggest piece of meat either if you're not out there, working. I get it.
DC said, I had to work and my dad is a doctor. Yeah. I mean, there's no such thing as slouching in my family. There was no such thing as, resting on, your laurels or what have you. My dad was like, every day, like if I came home with a B, he was like, why it's not an A? If it was an A, why it's not an A plus? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was always like the bar was always high for me. And he always said, good, better, best. Like who are you at the end of the day? Are you good? Are you better? Or are you the best?
So, but why are we lowering the bar for our children these days? Why is the bar so low for our
I
children?
don't know. I mean, if I'm honest, I think part of it is like a likability thing, because when me and my ex-husband split, my son took it the hardest at the time. My daughter was younger, so she didn't really grasp on what was going on, but my son took it to heart. And he was angry at me for a while. So it was always him playing his dad versus me. So I felt like I had to do things to kind of compensate for the fact that his dad is not here. So I know a lot of that became like my burden to try to do, because I felt guilty that I had left, but I had to. I mean, like, I had to do that for my own peace of mind, but understanding that the children aren't not going to understand that. In his mind, I broke up the family. In his dad's mind, I broke up the family. So it was mom is the bad guy. So I had to work hard to say, well, no, mom's not the bad guy. Mom, is doing this for us, for the betterment of us. So it took a while for him to get there, but when he got there, I think our relationship started to really solidify and bond. But again, I feel like moms always get the brunt of the of the backlash, because we're the first line of defense. You know, when a kid scrapes his knee, he's not hollering for dad or, you know, anybody else. He's calling for his mom. You know, same with my daughter. You know, they're always going to call for the mom. So as the mom, you have to put the weight of the world on your shoulders. You have to put their burden in your basket because you are their safety net.
Okay, because I've witnessed many panels here on YouTube from with millennials on them, and these millennials feel entitled. They think that our generation was raised incorrectly. That having responsibility at a young age, that that being responsible, that being accountable was not a good way to raise your children. For us not, that was bad for us to be raised that way. That we should always be just expecting anybody to give us.
Right.
That doesn't make sense to me. But these millennials, these young people nowadays, that's what they feel. That's how they feel.
They feel entitled.
Right, but us as parents, if you don't raise them that way, they can't feel that way.
Yeah, I totally get it. But now that hindsight is 2020 and you can't undo the past, what can you do what can you do in the future in the present tense to kind of combat what we've all are going through right now, which is the space where these kids are feeling so self-entitled that they don't earn anything. They don't want to earn anything. They want everything to be given to them.
And I'm not coming down on you or anything like that on how you raise your children, because you raised them the best way you could, the way you knew how to raise them. But are you still paying that bill? When did I say pay that phone bill? Did you pay it last month?
I did pay it.
Yeah, I know. See? So you just answered your own question.
I did pay it. But I'm saying I'm not going to pay it
this month. You're going to pay it this month. This month too, watch.
Huh?
You're going to pay that bill this month, the next month too, and the month after that.
No, I'm not. This is the last time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Terry said, I mowed lawns for mine. Too many kids in the house. Observing the older kids asking for things seemed a no-no for me, asking for things. Oh, okay. Well, I was an only child, so for me, there was no, reason to think that I wouldn't get what I wanted. But I knew if I wanted it, I would have to earn it. I would have to work for it. Now, some days I would say that I didn't have to.
Right, of course. But see, you built up. Bella, you built up that credit with your parents. You bringing home good grades. So if say you bring home a report card today and it's all A's, and then like maybe a month or two go down the road and you want something, they're more likely to give it to you because they see that you've earned it.
Right.
So it's not really like you just like they were just giving it to you because you asked for it. You had built a track record. You had built up a resume of, hey, she's going out there, she's doing what she's supposed to do in school, and so boom. If she asks for something, as long as it's reasonable, she'll get it. But it's not like that with these children.
No.
Not at all.
He said, technically, my son pays his own phone bill from his SSI. Okay. But then beyond, what he gets from Social Security, he comes to you and says, Mom, this is what I want, and expecting to get it. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I know there, it's like, it's like the wives say, my money is my money, but your money is our money. So the kids think, oh, well, mom's money or dad's money is our money too.
And I get to do whatever I want with my money.
Mm-hmm.
It's how they think.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just think about what my daughter said to me last year. If she had to pay for it, she couldn't afford to get a phone, so she would muddle through. But since mom kicked in and mom paid the phone for the phone upgrade, now all of a sudden everything is Gucci.
See, now there's one thing I do agree with her on. A phone that's 3 or 4 years old, that's pretty bad. But she should have been able to get her own phone though, if she wanted an
Yeah, she
upgrade.
has 3 jobs. She could have bought her own phone bill. What's $20?
Because these phones now, a year and a half, and they're outdated.
Mm-hmm. Well, also too, our phone company was running a special. So I was able to get my phone without having to put any money down or any money per month, because the phone that I had previously, I brought it back in for this phone. I traded it in and they gave me like a $500 credit. And then with my daughter's phone, I got another like $250 in credit. So really, I didn't pay any for those both phones until the new year. I started paying like the $20 a month for my daughters.
Yeah, I had a similar offer given to me by my phone company for one of these Android phones,
Mm-hmm.
Samsung. So I just didn't take advantage of. I haven't taken advantage of it yet. I plan
Mm-hmm.
to. I need phones. I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of probably next month. I'll probably do it.
Yeah, you need to.
You're
FYI.
right, because this bad boy it heats up whenever I'm on streaming
Okay.
apps. I don't know why,
Whenever
but
a
it
phone
does.
heats up the way yours do, yeah, it's time for a new phone. It's
and,
time
and
for a
and
new phone, boo.
mine's probably a year and a half old too.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
But
And
what happens
and
is whenever they do those upgrades, it pulls more power from the phone.
oh really? See, I didn't
So
know
when they
that.
do those upgrades, yeah, it pulls a lot of power from the phone. So even if your phone is like 1 year behind, it's pulling weight from this year. And the phones from this year are wired to handle that kind of output.
You're right, and
That's
right.
why a
And then
lot of people.
when I did get this phone, I did do the 20. I think it was like $25 a month.
Mm-hmm,
And I noticed that ended like maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and then now the phone is
mm-hmm,
active.
mm-hmm. That's why I told you every time they upgrade, your phone will start acting up if you have an old phone. And that's how they get you. Come in and get the new one.
And I've never had it or wanted an iPhone. I've always been good with the Androids and the Samsung.
Come on over to Team iPhone.
What did Terry say?
Terry said, I have more comic books than the law should have allowed for a teenager.
See, that's interesting, Terry. Terry, that's interesting because I was a comic book collector too. My dad used to bring us comic books all the time, and then once I got to a certain age, I kept buying them. And so I was a big Avengers fan. That's the comic books that I used to have all the time was the Avengers.
DC says she needs to upgrade her iPhone too. Yes, honey. Come on over to that upgrade life.
I wouldn't know how to work an iPhone. I'd be lost trying to work an iPhone, probably.
Oh my goodness. It's so easy. It's so intuitive. So, like, everything has its place. And I love that I could charge this phone up overnight and it will last all day long. Like right now, I'm at 29%, but that's only because I have some tabs open. So when I close them, I'm gonna close it now. I'll get some of that power back.
See, I'm at 24% right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I had concerns about coming up here because I was at 28%. So I knew this bad boy was going to drain fast.
Uh-oh. You see Biden's dog took a poop in the White House?
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't heard about that.
I was like, he probably smelled Trump in there. Apple works better for people with autism. Hence, we are iPhone over here. Really? How so? That's interesting. I didn't know that. I did not know that. I love my.
All phones now have the iPhone setup as far as the the front screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
All phones have that set up now.
Yeah. But I love it. Like everything is just right where it's supposed to be.
Did you get the Apple Card?
Mm-hmm.
You got it? Okay, cool.
Yep, I got the Apple Card. I got a year free of Apple TV.
Yeah, they got rid of that. I hear they're getting rid of
Apple
Apple
TV?
TV. Yeah, that's what I heard.
Oh, I better
They're
start
getting rid
using
of
it then before it goes
it.
away.
Yeah, they're getting rid of it.
Uh-oh. Burns is laughing. DC says she's at 54%. Okay. I'm trying to see where I'm at now. 40%.
So no one else is coming up?
I don't know. Nobody else is coming up. Steve Jobs created iPad for people with autism. Oh, that's fantastic. I did not know that, but I love my iPad. I need to take it in because I cracked the screen. So I need to see if they can fix it. Or if not, I just need to get a new one.
What
I
on your
love
iPhone?
Huh?
Your phone or your pad?
My iPad.
Oh, okay.
I love my iPad. I read my books on there. Oh yeah, we could talk about Niecy Nash. What happened now?
Well, I'll let Verns come up and talk to you about that. I'll drop off and get back into the chat. I know nothing about Niecy Nash. I don't even know who that is.
She's a comedian, Niecy Nash.
Comedian.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? What's going on with her?
I don't know. I'm gonna Google her now, see what's going on with it.
I have no idea who that is.
6 things we learned about Niecy Nash and Jessica Betts' sweet love story on Red Table. Oh, so she did a Red Table talk with Jada Pinkett. And I guess she talked about her ex-husband because she divorced her husband after, she used to talk about how she loved him and, she worshiped the ground he walked on. Jay was this and Jay was that. And then left him for a woman. And now she's married to a woman.
Wow. Okay.
So let's see the 6 things we learned. The couple spilled a lot of tea and clarified a few things about how they met, who made the first move, and how Nash's children took the news. Okay, so here's a recap. So they're newlyweds. They got married in a surprise ceremony. And Nash is 51, and her friend turned love of her life, singer Jessica Betts, is 38.
So now is I'm sorry, go ahead.
Uh-huh.
No, great, go ahead, continue. Go ahead and finish.
Huh?
Go
Okay,
ahead and finish.
So since then, a couple showed up in their feed, in everybody's feeds. Betts opens up about their beautiful love story and sets the record straight on some of the biggest questions about their love. For starters, contrary to popular belief, Nash made the first move. So here's the first thing that we'd be surprised about. The couple got engaged while skinny dipping. Betts revealed on the show that they got engaged while skinny dipping in a hot tub. And when she turned and said to Niecy, if anybody's going to be getting on my nerves, it's going to be you. Marry me. But Niecy was already planning to propose when Jessica did. Right after Betts asked her, Nash ran to grab the ring she had already bought for Jessica because she also planned to propose. We got engaged. We engaged each other the same night. Okay. Niecy's kids loved Jessica, but they had a hilarious reaction to the couple dating. When Nash told her 3 kids, all young adults now, that she was officially romantically involved with her good friend Jessica, their initial reaction was hilarious. My daughters were like, wait, what? My youngest daughter, she reminded me, she was like, wait a minute, Mom. Are you the same mom who was like, girl, I'm strictly dickly? And I was like, wow, what? I was like, yeah, no, yeah, but no. And her son was like, wow. My children were able to meet Jessica before they knew we were dating. So they were able to meet her and form their own opinion about her as a person. And they were all like, oh my God, she's cool. Oh my God, I like her. They were exchanging numbers and all of this. So they already liked her. Wow. 4, Niecy was hesitant to date Jessica at first. Nash was reluctant to begin dating Betts romantically in the beginning for 2 reasons. For starters, after her divorce from Jay Tucker in 2019, she made other plans for her life. I had said, on the other side of marriage, I'm going to get me a little young 25-year-old, and I was just going to live my life and have fun and run these bachelorette streets. She also didn't want to ruin a great friendship. The second reason was because I was fearful that our friendship might not survive it, because their 4-year-long friendship, she didn't want this person to not be in her life, so she didn't know what the running rules are. Okay. With Jessica, Niecy felt seen for the first time. I've dated men all my life, married a couple of them, but it was the first time in my life I had ever fully been seen, and it changed me. The other thing that I think is harder for people is you don't fit in the box we put you in. Wow. All right. Hang on a second. Oh, Jada's coming up. Hey, Jada.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good,
Hey,
honey.
Jada,
How are you?
And I'm over here with a stomach ache, but you were like, I don't know. Is anybody else gonna come up? I was like, let me come on up here and be with my girl and them. Hey, DOG.
Yeah, come
Hey, Jade, how you
on.
doing?
I cannot complain. Like I said, just the stomach ache. I'm having an allergic reaction.
Allergic to what?
Allergic to citrus acid, and I ate some spaghetti and I drunk some juice that I should not have been drinking, and now my stomach is swollen. I look pregnant. I look like I'm ready to pop. Yes.
Oh no.
I completely look like I'm ready to birth a baby.
So Jada, is this the first time you and I have chatted on a panel?
No.
Okay, yeah.
No, it's not
I'm
the first
getting
time.
old. So.
I talked to you before on Jovi channel.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
So what was that little slick remark you
DC,
just made?
huh?
I said, what was that slick remark you just made?
So DC said Jessica is closer to the kids' ages than her. Yeah, I didn't realize she was that young. DC said
You know
she
what?
waiting on her DoorDash, then she's gonna come up. I know that's right.
Yeah, I have no idea who Niecy Nash's woman is, but as I look it up,
Niecy Nash is the one, she's on that show Claws. I don't know if they still have it out with
oh no. I know who Niecy Nash is. I would say I
oh
have
okay.
no idea who her woman was. But
Oh yeah, I don't know who she is
so
either. They
Jessica
label her
Drake,
as a singer, but I've never heard her before.
yeah, I don't know who that is. I'm looking at pictures now. It looks like they had a nice, beautiful wedding. She's definitely young.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I
Lucy
ain't
looks
mad.
good. She looks snatched. I
Her
want to know who her surgeon was.
feeling.
She,
Well, I don't mean to totally change the topic, but well, I guess I'm not totally changing it. But if Nash or Nash, however you pronounce her name, if she was a man, if she was a man who left his wife for this younger woman here, would you guys label him? Would you guys bash him?
Not me.
yeah, I would. I'd look at him sideways.
Why not?
But
But then why can't you look at her sideways then? Then why not look at her sideways? Because she did the same thing.
she did. She did.
So wait, she completely left her husband, or were they already split up?
She left her husband in 2019, and then they married
In 2020.
when did they get married?
In 2020.
In 2020. So yeah, basically she left her husband and married him. Married her. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Well, see, I don't have problems with the age thing, and I don't have the only time I have a problem with age is if a person is illegal in age. Otherwise,
Right.
I don't too much care. Like, that whole Marcus Houston thing. His chick is young. I have no problem with that. I have a problem with feeling like he was dipping in that pot well before she was 18. Now that's different. But as far as somebody leaving their mate to get with somebody else, if somebody else makes you happy, I don't have a problem with it. I really don't.
But
Because let me be married to
when it's a man that does it, a lot of women have a problem with it.
and I can see that. I can see that happening mostly because we see the women as the victim all the time in majority of relationships, or at least we used to. At least we used to. Now it seems like we blame the women, even if the women were being beat, raped, stabbed, shot. It seems like
Right.
everybody
And
just
I
still
don't
blames
blame
the wife.
I don't blame him when that happens. I don't.
Oh, okay,
It's best to
awesome.
get the hell up out of here.
But it does happen.
Yeah, it
But
happens. I
but
was like, wow. So y'all
but
just gonna fight?
Diva said her husband was younger than her too.
Yeah, Jay was young too.
Was he?
Yeah, he was young. I mean, I don't think he was as young as this lady, but he was younger than her.
He was younger. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes, he was younger than Niecy.
Okay, well, she can pull him young, honey.
Honey, she can look. Her body is snatched. This waistline is non-existent right now that I'm looking at.
More. It got to be more than the hips. Okay, it got to be more than the stomach. Excuse me. It got to be more than
Exactly.
Niecy Nash should not be like just coupled down to it being about her waist, honey. It got to be something else for her to be snatching up young men and women, honey. Go ahead. It got.
Well, I'm sure it's something to do with money as well. I'm sure.
Well,
I mean, she's very successful.
It could be, but I ain't gonna dwindle it down to her money either. I hate when people be like, oh, well, it's because of their money. Now, we only go constitute that for the men.
Okay, so then Jada, so this is what you're saying. If it's not the money and if it's not the hips, then what is it?
Then she must be a good woman.
Okay.
There
Okay.
You thought
Because
I
I
was
thought you was about to say something else.
No. It must be that she's a good woman, and they
That's
can
what I'm
notice
talking
that.
about. Yep, she's a good woman.
Yeah, I'm not going to dwindle down her credit. She must be a good woman. They must love her. You know what? To be honest, there are several celebrities um, who have tried to holler at Niecy Nash, and she has passed
Mhm.
on that. So, it must be that she has a very good character. I personally have never met Niecy Nash. She's one of the celebrities I've never met or worked with or anything. So I really know nothing about Niecy Nash. So I can't even give y'all like a small little snippet.
Yeah.
I have no
All
clue.
I know is that her and what's the other one? Sherry Shepherd are like very, very good friends.
That darn Sherry
Well,
Shepherd.
if she left her husband for this woman, there was a character flaw somewhere. She's not perfect for sure.
Okay, maybe the character flaw was with her husband, or maybe she just realized she was into women and was done, trying to hold that in. And so maybe.
Well, okay, so let me read to you number 6 because that speaks to what you're just talking about right now. So Niecy labels herself as free. At the time of the couple's surprise wedding announcement, many news headlines said Nash had come out. And Nash says that was not exactly the case. A lot of people said in the beginning, Niecy Nash has finally come out. And I said, well, come out of where? Because I wasn't in anywhere. I wasn't living a sexually repressed life. I loved boys when I was with them. And now this is who I love. I wasn't living a lie or trying to make myself like a man. I mean, I like them. I like them real good, but I'm on the new. If I had to label myself in this moment, I would label myself with the term free. So she's not saying that she is a lesbian. She's not saying that she is bisexual. She's just saying that now she happens to love this woman.
Well, here's the thing for me. It got to be something. Something must have been missing within the marriage. And I'm not going to blame the man. I'm going to say it could have just been missing within her. And she realized it because technically, if I'm looking at these pictures, it looked like her woman is a man. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, her wife is very masculine looking. She has a low haircut.
I wouldn't say too much masculine looking, but very much masculine dressing. She definitely dresses like a man, and it looked like her mannerisms from looking at this video of them walking on the red carpet. It looks like she walks masculine. Now I'm not going to say her face is masculine though, but
I would say her face is masculine. I would say she looks masculine.
But let me ask you, okay, so let me ask you, the article with the part that you just read, she said she doesn't label, she's not to be labeled.
Right. She's not labeling herself as bisexual. She's not labeling herself as a lesbian now. She's not labeling herself at all. She's saying that she loves men. She dated men, but now she is on with a new relationship, and that relationship happens to be with another female.
But she did label herself. She labeled herself free.
She labeled herself free. I don't know why.
She labeled herself free. Yeah.
I don't
That's
know
what
why
she
it
labels
is
herself
that
as.
bisexual women nowadays don't want to say they're bisexual, or they just don't want to say that they're lesbian. I've noticed a lot of women celebrities come out and they won't give themselves a title. They'll give themselves some made up title that they want to be called. I want to be called free. I want to be called unlabeled. I want to be called, what is it called? What is that? Mixed gender. Just say you're bisexual. Say you're a lesbian.
Yeah, and this goes to what I was. Go ahead, Jada. I'm gonna let you finish your thought.
Oh no, I was just saying, why do we need the extra terms to determine exactly what you're saying that you are? You like men, you like women. That's called being bisexual. Can we just say you're bisexual? Why is it that women lately do not want to say bisexual? They call it everything else but bisexual. Baby, you're bisexual. Okay, It's okay. Just say you're bisexual.
Hey,
Is it because are they scared to say that because they don't want people to think they want threesomes? Is it because they don't want to be listed as just only a lesbian and that means that they're too masculine? Just, baby girl, you're bisexual. It's okay. Nobody cares but you.
I think nowadays, and I get this also goes to that whole millennial lifestyle. Like they don't want to have labels. So it's like, now, they're like, what's your gender? Well, my gender is fluid. I don't want to be categorized as a male. I don't want to be categorized as a female. I'm just gender fluid. I'm gender neutral.
But see, there's a flaw. There's a flaw in that, Bella, because she's not millennial.
Right,
She's nowhere near that.
But who she's dating is, who she's married to is, like, she's in her, what I say, she's in 20s, 30s.
Okay, so I don't have a problem with somebody who says that they don't want to be seen as a man or a woman. They just want to be. That's one thing different from telling me what your sexuality is. See, that's why I say all of these terms just makes everything confusing for everybody.
Exactly. Exactly.
Just if you like a man, you straight. Or, on a gender with women. If you like a man, you're straight. If you like men and women, you're bisexual. If you only like women, you're a lesbian. Why do we need all of this extra stuff that just lets me know that all you're really saying is you're bisexual, but you don't want to call it bisexual? Because at the end of the day, if you want to not say that you're bisexual and you want to say you're free, are you sexing animals? Are you sexing children? Okay, listen, stop it. Just say I'm bisexual and be proud in it and stand in it and have a good day. I'm tired of all of these extra alphabets, and I'm not trying to say this to offend nobody because I'm very open. I let people be who they are.
Right.
But y'all gotta stop this.
Yeah,
it has to stop somewhere. Y'all just gotta stop.
Right.
I agree with you, Jada. I agree. All this extra is just too much.
Yeah. But again, that's where we're living right now. This is how we're living, where people are like, I don't want to be, and I think even the people in the LGBTQ plus something or other, elemental P, yes.
Yeah.
They have a hard time casting the net around who and what they are because it keeps changing.
Yes.
So I think that instead of putting a label on it, or instead of saying, this is the pocket of people who belong to this group, just everybody just be who you are, be what you want to be, and not put a label on it at all. Not say I'm from this community, not say I'm from that community. Just be. If you really want to truly live your life, that's how you truly live your life as a free person without having these titles or labels put upon you.
Yeah.
Hey,
Listen,
Bella, okay, she there. Okay.
Hey, DC, welcome in.
Hey, DC.
Hey, Diva.
No, I was just going to say that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm going on mute.
I was sitting up here and I was talking to a young lady that I used to teach, and she went to saying to me that she's part of the LG, and I tried to learn it, so I'm respecting her.
Okay? I know.
So she's like, I'm from the LGBTQIAPK, and then she said D. And I said, okay. I was like, can you give me all of them? Because I was like, I know it's lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, not transsexual, transgender, queer, what is it? Intersex, asexual, pansexual, polyamorous, and kink. So I'm like, so what's the D? She said, demisexual.
Who sexual?
Demisexual. Demisexual.
Oh my God.
Demisexual. Now, what is demisexual? Demisexual, the way she described it, is where demisexual people love everybody. They love men. They love women. I'm like, okay, isn't that bisexual? She like, well, I mean, you know, because you can like young, old, gay. You know, you can be like a straight woman and like gay men. Okay, listen. Do I need the extra part to be thrown on top of there? Can't you just say I'm bisexual and my mate happens to be a bisexual as well? She like, well, I guess you could, but I mean, it's just demisexual. I like everybody. I'm like, why do y'all need all these terms?
Okay, so the official title, because you know I have to figure this out, right? Because I'm such a Virgo. LGBTQIA plus. That is
okay. So after A, there's the P, the K, the C, and the D.
But isn't the plus catching anything else? Because the pansexual, someone who's attracted to people of all gender identities, so that's the new one. And the pan is supposed to catch everything, rejecting that binary gender thing that's implied by bisexual, just saying, you know, they're attracted to whoever you are. So if you are a woman who identifies as a man, a pansexual might be attracted to you as that.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's pansexual.
So under that, Miley Cyrus, Janelle Monáe, those are pansexuals.
Child. And again, I say this with no disrespect. Just whatever you like. Whatever you like.
So so the demisexuals are someone who generally does not experience sexual attraction unless they've formed a strong emotional, but not necessarily romantic connection with someone.
But I thought these millennials don't like labels.
They got a whole lot of labels, don't they?
They got a whole lot of labels for somebody who don't like labels.
Right. I mean, I'm telling you, it's a
then
whole
the gray
lot.
sexual is someone who occasionally experiences sexual attraction, but usually does not. It covers a kind of gray space between asexuality and sexual identity.
Say that again. What was that again?
Gray sexual is someone who occasionally experiences sexual attraction, but usually does not. It covers a kind of gray space between asexuality and sexual identity. Then the gender nonconforming, or GNC, are ones who expresses gender outside of traditional norms associated with masculinity or femininity. Not all gender
Are those the ones that like animals?
That doesn't say that. They say not all gender nonconforming people are transgender, and some transgender people express gender conventionally in masculine or feminine ways. Then the non-binary is a person who identifies as neither male nor female and see themselves outside of the gender binary. This is sometimes shortened to NB. And one example of that is the character Taylor Mason on the show Billions, who is believed to be the first gender non-binary character on television, and is played by the non-binary actor Asia Kate Dillon.
So he don't believe he's male or female.
They don't. It's the proper pronoun for that is they. They don't believe they're either male or female.
So what are
they? Not done yet, huh?
They believe they're not a human at all. They no sex gender at all, basically. So they are he he because
they're not even a he she because this is they're not man or woman.
Right. So they are they.
So why
is it not a man, not a woman? They
means more than one. So why you got to
right?
That?
But because they consider themselves everything. That's like
Well,
on the show
it can be
on that
everything if
Just
they don't
Us.
feel like man or woman.
But okay, so on that show Just Us, one of the kids on the show is came out as lesbian. But her partner, the person she's dating, is considered is non-binary, and they refer to themselves as they.
Yeah.
And it's another girl, but she considers herself as they.
And then there's gender.
Okay, so hold on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but so when they say they, they're meaning both man and woman.
Right.
When they call themselves they.
Yep. They figure. I mean,
I understand that because you're from that generation that they don't understand like where this generation is going. So in your mind, it's either this bucket or no bucket. Like you don't understand what these like ebbs and flows mean, but to them, it's all about freedom of expression and the ability to kind of go with the flow, whatever they're feeling. See, Parker, that's going to be insensitive, but stick to saying the alphabet community. That's hard to remember.
That's how I label them. So you guys, I said in the fact that I know Niecy. Now I don't obviously I don't have feelings for her because she's this big Hollywood star, but a husband whose name she carries, Nash, he and I are still really good. And and I have no kids and everything, but Niecy's not even in LA half the time. Most of the time she's in NOLA for time.
Okay.
For the show she went down there. But I mean I've known her since she was like 21, 22, because she got married to her first husband, Don Nash. They got married like really, really young. I mean, and they went through a couple of things. I mean, she's been public about it, so I'm not saying that people don't already know. They went through some things during that marriage where they were split up for a time, and then they got back together. And he kept going to school, and he's a minister. And at one point, they had a church. But I think just from my conversations with him, they kind of grew apart, got more in that Hollywood life, and he was getting more into ministry. So that's how the first marriage, split up, and then she got with the guy a few years later after that. But she had always had a struggle with her weight, if you guys didn't notice that, because they would always turn her into the big broke character, even when she wasn't a big girl, they would pad her, make her even bigger. Right. So, I think her snatching her body is kind of a statement. She don't ever want to play those characters again. But that's what they had. I mean, my understanding is that she was out of her marriage. They were no longer together. But, the world just didn't know about it. But she was completely out of her marriage before she even got with her wife.
Okay, so her and Jay had already divorced, and she had already started living her life as a single person.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
She wasn't married. Yeah, she wasn't married to him anymore. And let me just say, if someone who knows me, I said, oh, okay. All right, if you love it, I like it. Whatever.
Right.
Because and you have to understand that in that Hollywood life, a lot of this goes on.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of it, and in the past, a lot of it was behind closed doors. And now, everybody's free. And everybody decides that they want to, be free later in life.
Right.
So, I mean, we already had Bruce Jenner, who is now Caitlyn Jenner. And
right.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around that.
I know.
How about, can we wrap our heads around the fact that that man was given Woman of the Year out of millions of women? Somehow,
You know, I mean,
wait. I'm sorry.
you mean
Break to a commercial.
people who were born with
Guys. Hang on to that thought. Hang on to that thought. I'm going to pause for a moment and enjoy this video while I do. Hold please. Hold please. Hold please. Hold please. Hold please. All right. Thank you guys. So
All right, now Bella, before you guys get into it, I'm gonna drop down. I see Verns wants to come up, and my phone is at 13%, so it's gonna about to die anyway. But
Okay.
Jada, it was a pleasure talking to you again, sister, and Diva. It's always a pleasure talking with you, and Bella, thank you so much for having me up. I'll be in the chat checking you guys out.
All right, pleasure talking with you again too, DLD, and love the videos. Keep them coming.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Peace, y'all.
All right. So I think DC, you were going to say something. DC? Oh.
Are you still there, sis?
Hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, I think he's going in and out. Let me do something else real quick.
Oh yeah, you're kind of coming in and out.
Off of my houses. No, what I was saying is that it's crazy to me that we have to, and we do at this point.
You're fading in and out, so we're hearing like every other word.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't hear everything that you're saying.
Okay, good. All right. I'm gonna go
like
out
this
and come back.
Static.
Yeah, let me go.
Okay, DC, we'll be here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, you're perfect.
Okay, great. Man, so what is going on, BrownGirlBella? Did you bust out the wine on me already?
Yes, I did, honey. That's how we started the show. I'm doing a sparkling rosé tonight. So it is delicious. It's so good. Fruit forward. I'm excited to try the one that I'm selling with One World Wine. And that's coming. Hopefully it'll be here next week because I have I'm doing a fundraiser for an organization in Brooklyn on Saturday the 10th. So if you want to come, I'll put all the information on my community board. So if anybody wants to come, I will send you an invitation. we're going to be doing a virtual tasting of of the tasting flights. So for $29, you get 4 bottles, mini bottles of wine.
Oh yeah. Okay,
And
I'm sorry. Yeah, it just crossed my mind. Like, oh yeah, I remember you mentioning that. Okay.
yes. And so we're going to be tasting that flight, and then we're going to talk about the larger bottles of wine. And the people that I am co-hosting with, they each have their bottles and I have my bottles. So we're going to open those and we're going to taste those and give like our honest opinion about that wine.
Okay. Nice.
So definitely, if you want to, and you should definitely come. I'll put it in the community tab for anybody who wants to come. It's going to be virtual.
Yeah, I will not be able to make it only because I am going on my vacay, honey.
Ooh, another vacay. Do tell. Where you going?
Girl, I'm going to Belize.
I love Belize.
Yes, I
Okay.
am going to
Where in
Belize.
Belize are you going? Can I tell you, if I don't go to Belize when this is all over, like that or Panama would be like my perfect second home. Like I would just love to live there. The people are wonderful. They're so sweet. They're so kind. The food is incredible, but it's like the people are just so nice and so sweet. I love it.
Yes, I cannot wait to get there. We're on a resort, or on a spa resort, and I'm just looking forward to getting away and
Yes.
enjoying just the view. Like one of the things that I do not like, and I know some people be like, "What? No, I need this, that, and the third." No, if I'm leaving America, I don't want anything that the places, the hotels and the places and things that's there for you to stay for your lodging. I don't want to stay anywhere that would remind me of America. I want the culture of it all.
Yeah.
So I was showing the person that I was going with the place that I decided I wanted for us to stay. And at first he was like, "Oh, baby, but I like this, that, and the third." I said, "First of all, let me show you what it looks like."
Right.
When he saw it, he was like, "Oh, that looks beautiful." I was like, "Yes, it does. I know how to pick spots, honey. It is beautiful. It is, if you are into the piece of nature,
Yes.
flowers, and ambiance, feeling, the color,
Mm-hmm.
the nature of any place that you go is the best thing for you to do. Now, some people be like, "Oh, I'm worried about the bugs," or, I want that contemporary look when I stay at a hotel. I want it to be all white and all of that stuff. Okay, well, fine, go ahead. That ain't gonna feel like vacation to me. You could have went to Miami for that. You went to Cali for that. But sometimes when you go out of the country, just take in what it is that their country is about.
Right.
And when I say my hot tub looks beautiful, it looks beautiful.
Nice.
It's natural of the stones and everything from being out there. The Mayan caves that we're going to see. I didn't just pick like random different caves. I picked specific caves that I want us to go to, the different places I want to eat at, which if you're in Belize, if you ever go to Belize, and you've already been there. So if you ever go to Belize, y'all, the restaurants, yeah, they're fine and dandy. They're kind of pricey. They don't give you too much food, okay? But the places that are like the pop-up restaurants or the trucks, get one of those and just go and sit somewhere on someone's patio and just enjoy the food, because the pop-ups and the trucks food is way better. They give you more and it's way better for less of the price. And another thing, transfer your money into Belize money before you get there, or when you're at the border or whatever, right? Or just don't do it on a Friday, Saturday, or Monday, because it's going to be hard for you to get access to an ATM that can give you money.
Right.
It is so hard to do. So just like a little keynote for y'all, if you're ever in Belize, exchange that money. The money is 2 to 1.
Yeah.
So you don't want to end up going there and paying in American money what's $12 for them.
Right, because they love American money now.
Oh, they love American money because they know they get double the price. And for Americans, they don't really know that. And then they give you, let's say you give them a $20 bill for something that's $10, right?
Mm-hmm.
They made $20 off of you, and then they give you $10 in belief money, so you lost $20. Really, you lost $20 in belief money,
right?
Because they're giving you back your change in belief money, not American money, beliefs. And again, our money is 2-to-1.
Exactly. So you getting robbed both ways.
You get robbed both ways.
Tell them, Jada.
Honey, no.
I need all my coins.
All my coins.
Yeah, I love Belize. I did not love Colombia. I thought I would, but I did not love Colombia. I think Colombia is very classist. So like me being a brown skin Latina.
Oh yeah, they don't like that.
They did not like that.
I can see that.
Yeah. They did not like that.
For me, it's Guatemala.
But if you look culturally within the rest of the diaspora, in most of South America, you have it's like a lot of those countries, it may be 1 or 2% that they have left, because some of them they freed them and they got the heck out of there.
Yeah.
And the ones that stayed blended in.
Right.
You don't have that much that is just pure. It's still pure African.
Right. And the ones that are darker skinned, because I'll tell you what happened. So what had happened was I was there, and there was some dancers dressed in like the traditional, dancing garb. Now my father's family is from Panama, so I'm used to, the Panamanian dancers coming up and dancing with you, and if you dance with them, you give them money. So I already knew like what the lay of the land was. So I was cool with that. But what I was not cool with is you trying to game me, because I know that if I give you $1 US, that is good money for you.
Absolutely.
That's good money for you. So I actually gave them $3 each of the persons that danced with me. I gave them each $1. That's good money. This girl says in Spanish, well, what about the other girls? The other girls came and danced. I said, the other girls did not dance with me. And I repeated it back to her in Spanish. I was like, the other girls did not dance with me. They just took the picture. So if you want to pay them out of your money to come and take the picture, that's fine. But I didn't invite them to my picture. They jumped into the picture.
Yeah. See,
and so she's like, who is she, to talk to us like this? Like, who she thinks she is? And I was like, right back at you. And they did not like that. My boyfriend at the time was like, you about to start a riot in here.
Like, listen, I thought I was gonna have to boss up on some kids in Guatemala.
Right? He's like, I'm not trying to go to no Colombian jail because you over here arguing in Spanish with these dancers.
Listen,
but right is right.
Listen, we had the tour kids, right? So there were some tour kids who were they just wanted to get us from point A at the line to point B, which was like maybe a 5-minute walk. You hear me? Maybe.
Exactly.
It might be 2 minutes over there. It might have been 3 minutes. But nonetheless, okay, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Gave them each $6 American money.
They rich now.
They rich right about now. To them, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, and again, these were kids. They were like 8 and 10. You just got good money, kid.
Exactly.
They wanted to try to finagle me out of extra money.
You Gucci. You can go to they can literally go to the grocery store, and what we pay for in groceries, $100, that dollar can stretch them for like 2 weeks of food. And I'm not even exaggerating. That's an actuality.
It's wild the way they try to treat things. Just like the place that we are staying at, right?
Mm-hmm.
I told the lady
Hooray.
that I know she's getting double, right? I was like,
Mm-hmm.
see, if I come there and I pay you in Belize money, then I would be coming out on top. But because I want them to be able to keep the place as beautiful and pristine as it is, I don't mind paying for it online where she's going to make double out of us, right? So my sweetie is like, nah, baby, no, we're going to pay them in Belize money. That's half. No, El Cheapo. We are going to pay for this great, beautiful place. The lady done already said she'll pick us up. She'll have a Tesla pick us up and drop us off, coming to and from the plane. Right. She done already said that she's going to give us free breakfast, lunch, and dinner accommodations.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We done been upgraded to the 4th level of their stay. Like their resort has 5 different levels. And so we're up. We've moved up to the 4th level of room stay. Baby, I'm going to pay her every bit in American money.
Yeah.
That's why I should have gone ahead and took care of all her arrangements. I'm like, you know what? You El Cheapo. That's why broke niggas don't deserve no pussy.
Let me take a break right there to say, hi, Daddy Days. You in Savannah now? Say word. I need to go because my mom is getting ready to move out there this summer. So she's going out there. Her brother lives in Savannah. Her brother is like the mayor of damn Savannah. Not in actuality, but just because he lived there all his life. He went to school there. And then after school, he went, he stayed. So he knows my
stepmom. He may know my stepmom's family because she's from Savannah. Her whole family's from Savannah, but they live everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe 1 or 2 of them are still in Savannah, but yeah, it's a whole lot of their last name is Mayfair. There's a whole bunch of those Mayfairs.
Oh yeah,
Mayfields rather.
I'm telling you, every time I go to Savannah, it's like, oh, you, Mr. Small's niece. And I'm like, yes. She's like, oh, he talks about you all the time. I'm like, I'm his only niece. Of course, he's going to talk about me all the time. like he literally has nobody else. Like my aunt and he, before they got divorced, they had no kids. So all his life, he has no children. So I was his like daughter. So he is a Kappa, DC. Yeah, so he's a Kappa. So he was like, when I was going to college, he was like, I already know what you're gonna pledge. And I was like, what you talking about? He was like, I know you're gonna be AKA. I was like, why would you think I was gonna be AKA? He was like, because that's where I'm raising, that's what I know you're gonna do. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I have no intentions on doing anything. And then what happened was one day I saw who would now become my big sister, but at the time, she was just a girl that I knew with a AKA tote bag. And I was like, oh, is there an AKA campus on this yard? I thought it was just the Deltas. And she's like, no, we're on the yard. The Sigma Gamma Rhos are on the yard and the Zetas are on the yard. She's like, we have all 4. And I was like, oh, okay. So she was like, are you interested in AKA? And I said, yes. And she gave me right then and there her name and number, her line sister's name and cell phone number. And she was like, give me a call. And the rest is history. So 25 years later, I became an AKA. And I tell you, nobody that I've ever met had that kind of experience where automatically you went up to somebody and they were like so gracious enough to give you the information right there on the spot.
Yeah. my dad's an alpha, but my dad knew that I was not going to pledge AKA. Because I told him I wasn't going to pledge AKA. I mean, I told him, I said, I said, if I do, I'm not. That's not going to be it, because all of my mom's friends were deltas from Alpha chapter at Howard. So
Howard,
yeah, all of her friends were deltas, and so that's who I knew. And then, you know, on top of that, I'll say, you know, for me, being a delta, you know, it's Sarah to have helped me through my journey with the autism for my son. It is, you know, I mean, the one who owns the speech pathology center, it's two deltas with PhD, and they came to several of my son's IEPs and mediations if I needed them.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing like Greek life, because say what you want about like all the negativity, and each and every one of us has those, you know, stories, the negative stories, but I will say the good far outweighs the bad. When you have sorors who you will meet in your lifetime, and I remember when I first crossed over, we went to the first event that we went to as AKAs was our Boulé in '96, and we pinned Jada Pinkett Smith. We pinned as honorary members. We pinned Kathy Hughes. I think Iana wasn't then. Iana was later on. I forget who else, but those two stick out in my mind the most, because Kathy had the hardest time with doing the ritual part of it, and Jada took to it like a fish. Like, she was like, on both sides of her parents, her grandmothers were both AKA. So her father's mother was an AKA and her mother's mother was an AKA. So she already kind of knew like what was the deal, and she kind of like went through without a problem. But those two kind of stuck in my head. You were watching me before, Sora? I didn't notice. We were talking about all kinds of things. Today is a free day to just talk about whatever.
That's so funny. I remember that a lot of people thought incorrectly that my late Sora Natalie Cole was an honorary delta, and I had to always make sure that they knew that was not true. I said, oh no. I said that she may not have finished college, but she started college.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, because she started getting into the music business while she was at USC, but she came to my chapter. She came to Upsilon chapter, and her mother is also a Delta, so she was a legacy. So it made sense that her mom made her go to college, whether she wanted to or not.
Yeah,
and she had to get in the old-fashioned way.
Listen, and I had told my daughter a long time ago, like when she was younger and she was thinking about doing it. I said, you know what? I said, I made the sacrifices so you don't have to. Like, you can come in now. We have the legacy clause as a lot of other orgs do, where you can come in under your mom who is active. As long as she's active and financial, you can come in without the chapter having to vote on you. And so I always told my daughter, I was like, I did the hard work, so now you just get to coast. So I was like, It's not fair.
Okay, so since you're mentioning that, let me express something that I have been. I don't even know if I should be saying this on the live, but okay. So when I grew up, I respected all of the sororities. I thought they were all great in my eyes growing up as a kid. I thought they were all great. One stuck out to me, and I think it was because my favorite aunt was a Delta. Now we done had all sororities, all fraternities, that Masons, Easter stuff. We've had everything throughout our family. But it was something about possibly hanging with my aunt that made it worthwhile to be around these women, right? Mm-hmm. So in college, or even before I got there, but in college, I was like, I'm going to do Delta. Mm-hmm. And it was wild because I was interested, but they turned me off. And the more that they, you say who?
The chapter, the college chapter, and
yeah, the college chapter turned me off. That's what I'm saying.
That's for me. I had to look beyond them. I had to look beyond them. Yeah, for me it was like,
you know what, DC, I tried that, and I realized the more that we were around different other ones, the more my brain was like, man, maybe this ain't where I want to be at. But then at the same time, there were these Zetas that were trying to get me. And it was like it was already a noticeable thing that because they got along with me so much, and because I would go to everybody's community service stuff, because I'm just a community service person. Right. They were trying to get me, and I just was like, it's not my thing. If I'm not gonna do Delta, I'm not gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really what I felt I wanted to be at. And then
and it's cool. Yeah, it's cool with that. My sister felt like she was pressured, and then because she wanted to be a Delta, but she had her son, and I told her, I said, you know what? Fraternities and sororities will always be there.
Yep.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's what's crazy. Now, after I sat up there and said, I'm not gonna do nothing if it ain't Delta, I went down south, back to my hometown, hanging out with my aunts, hanging out with my cousins, none that done became Deltas, hanging around the different campuses. We done been to Tougaloo and everything, right? And I'm like, oh my goodness. I think I realized what it is. I'm more connected to the southern-minded women than I was these city girls that were up here playing.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying. It's the chapter. And see, that's the thing for me. Like when I was in undergrad, first of all, I'm coming from a completely different side of the country, and the way that they do things at the HBCU that I transferred from was not the way that they do it in the West. So that was different because at HBCUs you don't say what you want to do, you keep it to yourself.
Right? Yeah.
You keep it to yourself. And when I came out here, it wasn't even like that, but I was on a very large line for PWI. I was on a large line for PWI. There was 14 of us.
Wow.
And 14 different personalities. And I was the tail. So, I knew everything because I had
to tell us.
Okay.
I knew everything because I had to know everything. For my slacking line sisters.
Hello.
No.
But in saying that, on our line we had women that had come from all over the country, to USC, and we also were from different socioeconomic, levels as well in that chapter. But but for me, I became close with a couple of my line sisters, and I think one of the things that made me go into the chapter is someone who I had gone to elementary school and to high school was in the chapter at USC. So it was like I had followed her all the way through school, literally.
That's nice.
So yeah, and it was somebody from my hometown. So it wasn't, and I mean it wasn't like that. But again, I didn't get along with all of my line sisters, and still don't. But for me,
it's beyond your line, it's beyond your chapter, it's beyond your region.
That's what I said. So globally, for me, it was more about who I was and what I thought that I could bring, that I was bringing to the sorority, not about what the sorority was giving to me. And I was looking past undergrad, because in my head I'm like, I don't have to deal with these people for the next couple of years, and then after that, I get to deal with whichever soror I choose to deal with.
And you know what? That is very true. I did realize that I didn't have to deal with everybody. I could deal with who I wanted to deal with. But in my eyes, I thought it, because of the way I was raised, who becomes your family is your family. So you have to deal with them. You have to, you know, so that's the way I saw the sisterhood. And it is
like that for some of us, but Bella will tell you, just like I'll tell you, that I have sorors and then there's Delta. She'll tell you she has sorors.
And it's a difference.
AKA. And then there's AKA.
It is a difference.
Yeah, I must say, okay, so I know my aunt ain't tuning into this YouTube, so I can say this with y'all, but I'm gonna tell you what has gone down in the last. Now I'm 39 years old, so in the last 16 years, no, the last 13 years. Okay, so the last 13 years of my life, I have been hanging with several different women, and you know what I've noticed about all of them? And okay, so my aunt ain't listening. I know she ain't gonna beat me up. They've all been AKAs. I don't even be knowing it half the time.
But see, here's the thing. Well, Jada, like
one. You say who?
Jada, I have two of my best friends are AKAs. Now, one of them went to school with me, went to USC with me, and you know we didn't really hang out when we were in college, but after college we knew each other on a different level, as you know, as sisters in Christ, and so we had a different kind of sisterhood, you know. Yeah. And it's, you know, it's like that, you know. I mean, you don't always gel with everybody. The thing is for you, if you're going to do that, you want to be, regardless of which, if you decide on, you want to be around women who you know have some commonality with.
And that's where I stick with it at. I deal with all of them because, you know, they're doing service. Service is more important to me than everything else that they're doing. And the service side of me, which actually includes a lot of things, fundraising, working in the community, doing different things in legislation, all of that works for me. But again, at a certain time, I was just like, if I'm not doing Delta, I'm not doing nothing. In my mind, as long as I'm doing for my people, for the world, I felt like I was fine. But my daughter, it was so amazing. My daughter, as she started to turn 8, 9 years old, my daughter started saying, Mom, you hang with all of these AKAs. Why aren't you an AKA? I was like, because your auntie would kill me.
Well, I'll tell you about one of my friends. I have a friend that went to Essie with me, and he was I think he was the grandson or the great-grandson of one of the founders of Kappa Alpha Psi. And he pledged Alpha.
Oh, wow.
And I'm telling you, the Kappas,
because absolutely, my aunt has fussed at my cousin, who she was like, "Oh, okay, well, it's okay if you're not gonna do it, Jay. I know that Kiana's gonna do it." No, Kiana went and became a Zeta. Oh, my aunt was like, "I can't believe she would have did that to me." So my sister, even in my sister's older age, she decided, I'm going to pledge. And I was like, what? Really? At your age? She was like, yeah. So
yeah, I've seen women pledging in their 50s.
Delta. I called my aunt and tell my aunt, go ahead and have a conversation with your niece. Because she's talking about, you know, going to join a sorority. She's like, oh, yeah, I know my niece going to do Delta. I know that's how it's going to go. Oh, my God. When I realized that my sister decided she was doing SG Row, I about fainted. I was like,
oh, wow.
Row, but I was like,
I have one of my cousins. I have a cousin that is Sigma Gamma Rho. She's the only SG Row in the entire family because everybody else is either a Delta or AKA. It's just the way it went.
Yeah, in my family, either you're a Delta, a Zeta, or an AKA. We've
But for my
had an
cousin,
SG role, but she died like
yeah, but for my cousin,
10 years ago.
she got along with those were the ladies who she was drawn to when she went to college. You know?
And I'm not mad at that. It was just, I was thinking like, oh my God, y'all completely put the pressure on me to be the Delta in the family now. So if I was to ever want to pledge, she's going to kill me because I'm the last one left right now. I was like, I couldn't even go and do AKA if I wanted to. And so it became a choice of, you know, aren't you a grown woman and all that other stuff. And I said, you know what? Here's the part about being a grown woman. I've never felt like I had to belong to something. So I can continue to do what I'm doing right now and not bust a sweat. But if I was in my 39 years of age, the most people that I seem to have connected with, oddly, has been AKAs and no front. But I had never thought I would have ever thought that ever in my life. Never.
Well, I mean,
as
as
feminine as
I said,
much as I love Pink,
I have friends who are AKAs, and we became really, really good friends after college. I mean, I have one is that are identical twins, and I am friends with one of the twins. And so because I'm friends with one of the twins, I always know when it's the other twin. And they're like, how do you know the difference? Because I'm friends with her. I'm like, you would know which one of them is which one is which as well. You know, but it's like, but it's like both of them are AKAs because their mom is an AKA. And then like within my family, within my immediate family, I have a cousin who married, you know, an AKA. And his mom was his aunties was so happy because this is the ones where the cousin pledged SG Rowe. Okay. Wow. It was his sister who pledged SG Rowe. And like I said, we had nothing but deltas and AKAs in the family. And so when he married an AKA, they just fell in love, the aunties, and they came and they sung, you know, the song. Right. The thing that was bonus for me was that one of my friends from high school came to the ceremony because she became friends with his wife, you know, in college, after college and everything. And she's also an AKA, and you guys will know her from she plays Bobby Brown's mother in the Bobby Brown story and in the New Edition story, Sandy McCree.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, she's a friend of mine from high school.
Oh, wow.
I said, so if you didn't know, she's an AKA. I'm telling you.
Got you.
Yes, she is an AKA. So that's when I reconnected with her. But, you know, I mean, you know, Jada, what I would tell you is do what you feel is right for you. Don't worry about what your aunt's saying, and don't worry about how other people
it's never
feel.
too late to do it. It really isn't.
You know what? My whole thought, and I don't want to have to say it this way, but I'm going to say it this way. My whole thought for at least the last 3 years has been, my aunt is old. I'll wait till she dies.
Girl, you bad. That's wrong.
Oh my God. No, Jada.
I mean, like,
wait until she died because I feel like, you know, I can do it at any time. So it's like, I'm going to wait till she dies. I'm going to tell y'all something. My cousin got married to an AKA after he broke up with his Delta girlfriend. You hear me? Broke up with his Delta girlfriend, was dating an AKA, married her in less than 4 months.
Oh, wow.
My aunt was asked to do the wedding for the decorations and stuff. Oh, the AKA was like, no, I'd rather have pink, green, you know, y'all look colors. She scoped it out. She wanted pearls. I was like, sweetheart. I was like, you know what? That is so beautiful. And she was like, why are you saying it like that? I'm like, because I'm going to have to be the one to encourage you through this whole wedding. You tell me what you need. I'll relay it to my aunt. Okay, I got you. Okay. She was like, it can't be that hard. But when she said that she wanted my brother-in-law to, the reason why I call him my brother-in-law is because he's also my god brother. So in a ways, I know he's not my real brother, nor he's also not my cousin as far as he goes. But I just call him my brother-in-law because he's been more of my brother since he's my god brother. But it's odd. But anyway, I call him my brother-in-law. And okay, no, let me explain. My dad and his father are also related, and that makes us in-laws as well. So because we have such a tight bond, I just called him my brother-in-law instead of calling him my god brother. So anyway, so my brother-in-law, okay, she wanted him. Now he is an Omega. She wanted him to dress in gold and black.
No.
Must have been out of her mind.
No. Oh, come on now.
But he loved her so much, he was like, I ain't bothered by it. It's just the wedding color. I was like, now, you know what? That takes a lot of strength. My aunt was like, hell no.
Yeah.
Oh, it went on.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want to put my husband through that. If he, first of all, if he's Greek and I'm telling him to dress in another org's colors, that would not fly.
That ain't even right.
That ain't even right. I would never even attempt to do that because I wouldn't want it done to me.
Her wedding was pink and green with white because she wanted pearls and the flowers and all of this jazz. And then he, not even his entourage, just him in gold and black.
Yeah, no. That's like, a lot of love and dedication, though. But nah.
It's not gonna stop me from marrying her. My aunt was livid.
I know she was
upset. She was offended. I was like, boy, my aunt is gonna be like this until she dies. I'm just gonna have to wait it on. I'm just not gonna. She's my favorite aunt, and I know I'm her favorite niece, so I know I kind of, in a way, disappointed her. I'm like, I just will wait till she died.
Aww.
And see, I didn't even have to worry. I didn't have to worry about that because, like, my mom and her siblings, my mom and her sister went to Xavier, and in the 50s they had banned all the Greeks off campus. So,
oh my God.
So, right. So my mother was not Greek. I had no. I mean, I had to break it to my dad. Well, you know, I mean, and then on top of that, I was a Catholic sweetheart.
Oh wow.
Okay, so my mother's a Zeta, and I don't know. I never really hung with my mother. I was mostly with my aunt. So, you know, that stimulated everything. And I mean, like, I can tell you, like, the history of it still flows through my brain as we speak. I can tell you all of it, right? But I'm like, oh, okay, you know.
You would probably make your mama so happy if you pledged Zeta, though.
My mother, you know what? My mother doesn't care. My mother has always told me she didn't care, and I guess that's probably because I was hanging around with my aunt. So from the beginning, she was letting me know that it was okay, whatever I decided to choose. But I think the reason why my aunt has so much pressure, because my aunt is very sweet. She's very kind. She doesn't, you know, she has girlfriends that are from different sororities. But I think it's because she doesn't have any kids. She has no kids, and she's always wanted a legacy. And that's where I kind of came in as far as I was always with her. I was like a little daughter for her. So I know it's strong for me, but because I didn't do anything at all, the only thing I did was Eastern Star. So I think it was like, oh, okay, well, she's an Eastern Star with me. It's okay. But then as my cousins them, she kept thinking like, oh, I can get a legacy out of one of them. And when I say legacy, I mean somebody to take on that part in our family. Because after my aunt, there are no more actual Deltas.
Oh, wow.
All of them have been gone. I have an older family, so all of them have been gone for years. He's the last one left.
In my family, it's the opposite because the majority of those of us that are in the Greek organizations are the ones that are, you know, us that are like, I guess I say the ones who were born in the 60s.
Okay.
And after, like, because my parents went to college, but their parents didn't go to college. So, you know, however, my dad's mother's sister did, and so she was a Zeta. You know, that was, you know, but on my mom's side, you know, I mean, it was my generation. We're the ones who went into the Greek organizations, and it seems like the same thing across the rest of my family, my extended family. It's basically the ones that are.
Hang on just 1 second, DC. Thank you, P&Q Grind, for the $5 chat. Thank you. I appreciate you. Hey.
Ow.
Yeah, C. Parker said that makes sense, Jada. Someone to pass on her legacy.
Yeah, that's why it's
a lot of y'all. I know if I was to, my aunt loves my daughter. Okay, she loves my daughter to death. I can already tell that my aunt is thinking my daughter just might follow in her footsteps. I think she might be. She holds my daughter to a high regard, and she'd be like, you know what? She just like you, and everybody says that she just like you. So I know she's thinking somewhere in her mind that my daughter might be the one. I have not broken it to my auntie yet that my daughter has said that she thinks she likes AKAs out of
yes, girl.
Yeah.
Tell Jada, tell her come on over.
Oh my goodness. Listen, my daughter is only 14.
Is your daughter in college yet?
No, my daughter is only 14. I am not putting her up under
14.
No pressure. No.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, and here's the thing: it's like just like you, she may get to college, and it all depends on what she's exposed to at college.
Yes.
You know, by the weeks on the campus. So you know.
Yep. I'm like, I want her to just have a fresh feeling, a fresh mind thought. Now she looks at all of them. You know, she's into a lot of different things, and so she run into a lot of different women. And she noticed, you know, that some of them be in sororities and they follow her, she follows them. And, you know, she notices certain things. And, you know, I like to keep her in an open mindset. So when my sisters and them all be trying to, you know, make little comments, I be like, Lana, baby, come over here. Come over here.
Right.
I can see
let her make up her own mind of what she wants to do.
Yeah, don't groom her because she in
Ray says
now, and all of these little high school sorority mentorship groups are in the high school sometimes. So I'm like,
yeah, because we all have those. You know, every org has, you know, a mandate to kind of reach back to the younger generation. So I get it. Ray says everyone's colors are big for them. It's important to respect that, even if it's a person that is non-Greek. Their favorite or endearing color is their favorite.
That's true.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm a Delta, but obviously my favorite color is purple.
And you know what? That's why I said it was funny for me, because red was not a big color for me, but I have always loved pink. But I was like, I guess I can wear red if I'm a Delta. I can deal with it.
I wear red. I wear, you know, for church stuff and for Delta stuff. But most of the time, I still wear my favorite color, purple. You know, I mean, I'm not here for Delta.
Yeah. Right. And you know, AKAs look good in any color.
You know, I like it, but I mean, my coffee maker in my kitchen is red. I have red.
So is mine.
You know, you know, I mean, I probably, you know, I have to say that, you know, I don't have a whole bunch of pink and green around here because, you know, even though purple is my favorite color, you know, being a Delta, that is just, you know, it's a no-no. It's a no-no now. I like those two colors. I have a couple of things that might be pink and green, but they never get one together.
Exactly.
They never get one together. You know,
exactly. But I mean, well, I mean, I enjoy it. I love the fact that, like I said, when I first crossed over in my first foray into Greek life, after, you know, going through the process, was going to our boule, and to hear, you know, golden sorors who are members who have been in a chapter, who've been financial and active for over 50 years, say, you know, hello, soror, welcome in. And, you know, when you're, you know, just new to the organization, they call you a neophyte. And I was certainly a neophyte when I went to my first boule. I had on everything I touched was pink or green. Yeah, like I didn't want to see nothing else. Like I wore pink and green for like a year and a half straight. Like there was no other color for me but that. And so, huh?
That's funny. I said because as soon as I crossed and left, it was the Delta punches. They saw me back in my purple.
No, I think I think part of it is because one, those actually are my favorite colors, and then right, and then two, when you're going through the process, you can't. Those are colors you cannot wear, along with colors from other organizations. So you've been deprived of it for so long that after you go over, you're like, oh, I can wear my colors now. I can wear color. Wait, I can wear colors now. I can wear anything I want now. Like what?
And see, that was different for us. But see, did you go through a grad or did you go through undergrad?
I went through undergrad, but I went on a PWI campus.
Yeah, but for me, that's what I'm saying. I noticed that that's what they do to the AKAs in undergrad, but that's all we were wearing was red and white. I was just back into my dang on purple. I was like, I'm so sick of seeing these colors.
Yeah, no, we were not allowed while we were
when you were online, yeah.
Online to wear any other color but black.
Yeah, I remember it was so funny because like one of my friends who is your soror, now this is the opposite of my guy friend, who was the grandson of one of the founders of Kappa Alpha Psi. This poor child, her mama, she was a legacy to Delta, and she played AKA. And it was so funny because when she was online, she was like the saddest little Ivy that I've ever seen. Because I pledged the year before her. And but she was just like so the saddest little thing. I said, she must be getting hell at home because she did not live on campus. So I just said, this girl must be getting hell at home because she did not go for nothing. And I remember that some of my sorors kind of were trying not to talk to her because she had gone ahead and pledged AKA. And I said, what? I feel like this little girl. I said, and she must be getting it from everywhere because I'm sure they were putting her through all kinds of, AP on online.
Right.
All this is online because she is the daughter of the Delta. So she was the most satisfying that I ever saw. I felt for her, and then they some not Sphinxmen, but I think it was stolen girls' eyes. Them girls lost their daggone eyes. It was
listen.
It was sad.
Listen, our Ivy plant died so many times online.
They stole these girls. They stole their Ivy.
That's a no-no. You can't let nobody touch your Ivy.
They got in so much trouble.
Yeah. But like I mean, ours used to get beat up and said so often that like they knew us at the supermarket because me and my line sisters, there's only two of us online, and we went to the same grocery store to get our Ivy so that they would match. And so the person who was running that the nursery section of the grocery store, he knew us. So he was like, okay, I got these two here and I already plucked them off. So y'all have the same number of IVs on each one. Because like we would literally like sit there and like before we go to the checkout, like, okay, let's pluck because big sisters might be in here watching. So let's pluck to see, make sure we got the same number of IVs on our plants. So the guy was like, okay, this is how they roll. Like they pluck the IVs to make sure that they're the same number of IVs on each plant. So he was like, okay, these are already pre-plucked. So you guys can go over and pay for them now. I was like, yo, this guy, like, he knows us like to the T.
Well, we had one of the things that, now this is one of the things that they did to learn at my school because we're in California.
Mm-hmm.
And there happens to be a lake that is about 50 miles away from LA called Pyramid Lake.
Oh my God.
But it was always telling girls to take their butts up to Pyramid Lake. Now, I don't know if anybody else actually went to Pyramid Lake, but I can tell you that my line did not go. We gave them some water. We put it in a jar, and it said, Pyramid water from Pyramid Lake. Here you go. Now, if you want to go out there and check and see if we went to Pyramid Lake, see like that. I think it became a problem because now that lake is actually, I think they have it all, fenced in and everything. So it seems to be the same in Southern California, the same pyramids off the Pyramid Lake.
Right.
And then you had stupid girls.
Oh my goodness.
Who had no common sense. Because I know somebody was there. All I can tell you is that my line was not the stupid line. Anything that they asked us to do, we figured out a way to do it without doing it.
I'm sorry. I was just talking to my line sister about this a couple of weeks ago because, if y'all haven't guessed already, who have followed me, I am a Silver Star now. I have 25 years of active service in my sorority. And so me and my line sisters, there's only 2 of us online. We started off as a line of 4, and then 2 dropped, 1 because of grades, and 1, she just couldn't handle it. So it was just me and my line sister, and I'm the tail, I'm the deuce, she's the ace. And on May the 5th of this year, we will officially be 25 years. So in AKA, we have distinctions for 25 years is Silver Star, 50 years, you're a Golden Soror, 65 years now, which is a new one that we just started.
People living forever.
Yeah, and that's because people are yeah, that is because people are living forever, and we needed a distinction between 50 and 75. So we made at 65 years, you're considered a Pearl Soror for 65 years of service. And then the last distinction is Diamond. And Diamond Sorors are sorors who have been active 75 years and up. So that's the highest you can go is Diamond. So
I can say that I was financial for 25 years. I'm not financial right now, but I tell you, I got my 25 year fortitude.
So that's what I wanted to ask DC, because some of our Sands Spring 96 who are Deltas, they're getting like a medallion for their 25 years. Have you guys started doing that for 25 years?
I think that's what they changed it to when you have to think I'm like 35 years in.
Mm-hmm.
So I got 25. When I turned 25, I got the fortitude. That's what they gave me. So they probably have changed what the 25 years get now.
Okay.
Because yeah, that was a while ago. That's like 10 years ago.
Yeah. So our Delta Sands who crossed in Spring 96, they got a medallion, like a 25-year medallion. And we're like, oh, that's cute.
That's nice. That's something different from what they gave when I turned 25. It was funny because Doris had to chase me down. Because I was financial, but I only went to the committee meetings that I wanted to go to. I was only involved with what I wanted to be involved with.
Right.
And that was because, I was juggling my son, and the reason that I stopped being financial was because I had to deal with David and I couldn't deal with Delta.
Right. No, I get it. And my thing is, it'll always be there. So for people who have lives and who have, other things that are a priority for them, hey, it'll be there when you get ready. It'll be there.
I'm getting ready to get financial again this year because they have given they waived all fees. Everybody this year. If you're reinstating, they're not doing any of that stuff because they're trying to get as many.
Listen, now that we have a store in the White House, folks have been coming out the woodwork.
Yeah, you guys are doing the same thing. I was like, because one of my friends was telling me, they said, hey, Casey, yeah, we're doing the same thing. We're trying to get right after COVID. They're like, no, reinstating fees, pay the dues.
Yep. And now that we have a SOAR in the White House, people are coming out from under everywhere talking about, oh, let me reactivate. Let me be, let me reclaim my AKA status again. I'm like, all right, well, why are you doing that? You going to do this community service? Because
here's the thing. This is something that I see tell people. I'm like, well, y'all understand the lifetime commitment. Even if you are not active, you can still be doing community service and everything.
Exactly.
And all of that stuff with your sorors and everything. They'll take all the free hands. I'm like, people don't understand that. It's like even if you're not active, you can still be active with community service stuff.
Exactly. No, absolutely. I wholeheartedly believe that. But like at the same time, like I was taught when I was an undergrad that, you are active when you are in a chapter. So my big sisters who made us didn't believe in like general membership or, like not being financial. That was not a choice for us.
The member at large.
Right, like they didn't have.
They have that in Delta too, and I was thinking about just becoming a member at large. But even if you're a member at large, you still have to tie yourself to a chapter. You have to be affiliated with some chapter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, even if you're a member at large, you still pay your dues through a specific chapter. It's just that you're just paying for your financial. It's not necessarily that you are available to be involved in stuff. That's for people who live in areas where there's no chapters close to them, so they'll associate themselves with a specific chapter and just be a member at large.
Okay. Yeah, for us, general membership, you don't have to be assigned to a chapter. You can just be a general member. And as such, you can go to anybody's anything because you're active in financial, but you're not tied to a specific chapter.
Yeah, you're not necessarily tied to the chapter. It's just that the way that they control it for, checks and balances is that although you're a member at large, you still pay your member at large fees through a specific chapter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's like our general membership.
Yeah, so that they can, keep the money coming through a specific place, and so the grand chapter doesn't have to deal with it.
Exactly. Listen, they're gonna keep that money flowing no matter what. You hear me?
So they don't have to deal with it. Yeah,
that's one thing that is universal between all the orgs. They'll cash your check now. Don't get it twisted. They will cash
my little letter, and then I had a couple of my fans. She said, well, you see, they still have the letter. All you got to do is
all you got to do is pay. They'll cash it now.
I said, I got the money. I had the money. I said, the issue was I was not walking into one of the particular chapter that she belonged to without one of my fans, because I don't really. I mean, I know those stores, but I don't know those stores.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know them, and I've been to stuff that they do, But I'm like, but nah. I said it's your duty as my fan. I said to officially bring me into the chapter. I said that's what you're supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
Exactly. I don't don't know how this conversation got all the way to
Listen, I said the open talk. We started talking about kids, then we started talking about the gender assignments, and now we're talking about Greek life. I tell you, I love this. The free for all is a free for all. Ray said with community service, is Black Lives Matter one to support? There's been so much controversy over whether to support or not. I will tell you, I had one of my patrons who wants to do a tasting, a wine tasting with Black Lives Matter. And so I typed it into our feed because we have like a whole list of different organizations where we already work with. So I wanted to see if Black Lives Matter was a part of that. And Black Lives Matter has sort of speared off into different sections. So depending on where you live, there's a Black Lives Matter for that section, that area. And then it seems like there's a Black Lives Matter Foundation, which is in Oakland, California. And I think that is the main one. But again, I'm not sure because they've broken off so many different ways and so many different segments.
Black Lives Matter, yeah, the organization is not the same as what we all are actually following as far as Black Lives Matter.
Right.
Because Black Lives Matter, the organization is about a specific type of Black family, and it's not the nuclear Black family. So it's not really about saving, it's not really about the Black man. It's about single mother houses, two-parent households where they're the same sex, and protecting the alphabet community. But it's really, if you actually go into the actual manifesto, it's not about saving Black men.
Ah. So yeah, there's a lot of mutation going on.
Let me clarify that. Black straight men. Let me clarify that.
Yeah. Ray says it's getting confusing. No, I'm with you. It is definitely getting confusing.
It is confusing, and that's why I tell people, if you want to know who Black Lives Matter is, you can see it on their page, and unfortunately, that's where the problem is that you have to go digging into their page to find that information now, because a lot of people are trying to let people know that Black Lives Matter is not really honoring what we think Black Lives Matter means.
Right. No, definitely wholeheartedly understand that. And so when we talk about like what places to support and what places matter, there's another organization that I want you guys to kind of look at and do your research about. And this is called Mob, and it was started by one of my sorority sisters, just because like she was just trying to understand how to support her children and how to support the organization and how to build on what everybody else has been doing. So MOB stands for Mothers of Black Boys, and we are a global organization. So we have different segments within the population that we do. I'm part of MOB Connecticut, but I'm also part of the whole overall MOB nationwide, because like I said, when we first started this a few years ago, her initial purpose of this was to bring light to the fact that we have these Black boys who are being targeted for various different things. and they're going out into the world and they're being targeted, they are being pursued, they're being questioned, they're being stopped, they're being detained, they're being arrested for just living and walking and breathing. And so as mothers, you know, we always want to protect our sons. And I think that in the case of a lot of women, we are the sole line of defense for our sons. So, you know, what MOB does is really help to support that, because we're all, at the end of the day, we're all mothers of Black boys, and we all want our boys to come home at the end of the day, whether they are 3 or 33 or 93 or whatever age they are. We want them at the end of the day to come on home. And so we started this organization, and now I'm going to put you know, one hope to that, and do a fundraiser for them sometime this summer, where we talk about, you know, as mothers of Black boys, what do we want to see change? Because at the forefront, our kids are being targeted for nothing more than being who they are, being a Black son with a little swagger, with a little, you know, dress how they want to dress, you know, whether it was those long, ugly white tees that I hated. And I'm so glad my son did that for a whole 3 weeks and then decided to chuck it. Or the hoodie or whatever it is that they have. But they are being targeted and they are being detained and they are being actively pursued by cops for just being who they are. And at the end of the day, and at the end of the day, like, they're not doing anything that Black boys have been doing for years, hanging out with their friends, being who they are, enjoying the camaraderie of being with their friends, and just being, you know, and they should not be pursued because of that. They should not be persecuted because of that. So that's what this organization is doing, supporting our sons, supporting our children, and making sure that at the end of the day, they come home. They come home. So I will definitely talk more about this as the weeks come, but I just wanted to throw that out there as we're talking about Black Lives Matter, to give you another avenue of things that may not get the same kind of attention as Black Lives Matter, but at the same time, this is just as important, because we are mothers, and as mothers, we all want the same thing. Thank you, Ray. I love you, Sora. Thank you. So, guys, we've been on for 2.5 hours. Jeez, we talked
But it
about.
has been an enjoyable 2.5 hours.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that, because I was just gonna say, I enjoyed myself so much.
This is my night off YouTube. Well, I'm going to be doing some content, but I'm going to be doing something offline and everything.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just hit me up.
I caught you tonight. Yeah, I will definitely. I'm gonna hit you guys up in IG.
Definitely. Thank you, Seaport. Yeah, no, it's important to speak about it and advocate for it, because I'm telling you, whether you have a son or not, you cannot escape the fact that when you turn on the TV and you hear about some young person being murdered, you automatically suck in your breath, because it's like, please don't let him be a young man of color.
Yeah, I know that's right. That's definitely what I be thinking.
Yeah, please don't let him be a young person of color, because I cannot take another life being snuffed out by nonsense. Like, how are you afraid of a young person with no weapon on them with no malice in their heart. They're not even actively trying to pursue you. Like, you look on the news, like, they were not attacking them. The police were attacking them. They weren't even doing anything. They weren't even trying to resist. And they're getting killed. You know? And it's whether you have sons or not. Yes, C. Parker, whether you have sons or not, you cannot escape the fact that when a young man is being snuffed out at the prime of his life, as a teenager, as a young person, it hurts. It hurts. It don't have to be my son. It don't have to be my nephew. It don't have to be anybody related to me. And I still hurt. Because it did not have to happen. These kids are being kids. And they are hunted as if they're animals. They're being pursued as if they're animals. And for someone who is not Black to say, well, all lives matter. Sure. In theory, all lives do matter. But until Black lives matter, that don't matter. You feel me? Until all lives matter, including Black lives, y'all don't matter. Because your son will come home at the end of the night. You have no doubt about that. If they're not Black, they'll come home. So until my son has the same rights as yours, Black lives matter. And that's on everything. On the Mary Had a Little Lamb, on the period, on whatever the kids are saying right now. That's it. Thank you, C. Parker. Yeah, Terry. Yeah, this was a great conversation. I enjoyed it so much. I want you guys to think about everything that was said today. We talked the gamut about kids and how, you know, they're so in their own bubble right now. And then we talked about Greek life, which, you know, is a subject near and dear to my heart. And, you know, concluding again with, you know, activism and being active in our community and really doing something for our kids, because, you know, like it or not, they're the future. And so although we pampered them and we, you know, kind of dealt them an ill-equipped hand because they're so dependent on whatever we do, but love it or lump it, we need to protect them. We need to arm them, and we need to strengthen them so that they can truly lead. My son went to Morehouse. He is a Morehouse man. And one of the t-shirts he got during his time at Morehouse kind of sums up what I'm going to say today. And that is, you can tell a Morehouse man, but you can't tell him much. I'll let that sink in, what that really means. But
my dad is a Morehouse alumni as well. My dad was president of the student body.
There you go. And my son was on student body as well. He was chairperson of the PR and social media. So yeah, I mean, the child I sent to Morehouse was not the man I got when he was over. Thank you, DOD, for the donation. I so appreciate it. And you, thanks for the conversation. Yes.
Yes. It's been a great conversation. I have enjoyed you guys.
Definitely.
I know I was silent in between time lately, but I was listening and laughing and shaking my head. But as I said, one of my cousins had just called me, and she's an AKA, and I was like, we was just talking about y'all peoples. Like, we was just talking about y'all. So and she wanted to ask and check about my sister and how my sister and things was doing. But
Okay.
so yeah, y'all, I enjoy coming up here. I'm happy I actually came up here.
Yes, Jada, you know I love when you come up here.
Oh, thank you. I love coming up here,
And I
laughing with
just spoke to
y'all.
my goddaughter named Jada the other day because I talked to
Oh,
her dad yesterday.
oh, how
So
she
I
doing?
reached out to her because she's like, God, mommy, when you gonna send me the Fenty stuff? I'm like,
Ah!
yeah, I'm like, girl, it's sitting right here in your thing. I'm like, every time I open my drawer, I see another Fenty thing that I'm gonna throw in there for her. And
Oh,
her latest gift that she's gonna get is that dog on hot chocolate, that
okay.
lip gloss.
Mm,
Let me tell you something.
okay.
I don't know. I think it's because I'm getting a little older and my nose is sort of um
Fanning out, as we call it.
fanning out. Yeah, like it's my nose is sort of being picky right now in terms of smells and scents.
Okay.
So for me, that sweet, sickly scent of the lip gloss is bothering me.
Oh, okay.
I don't like the smell of the lip gloss anymore. And I used to love it, but I don't love it anymore. So I'm sending her the hot chocolate and I think one other one that I bought. And then I'm sending her also all of the liquid lipsticks that I got from
Okay.
Fenty.
That would be nice. She's gonna love that.
Oh, listen, she already like, when it's coming, when it's coming. I'm like, girl, wait a minute.
Oh,
Send it.
that
Cause
is
I'm
so
like,
adorable.
living rock.
You know what? As much as I don't like kids in makeup, I do like girls in makeup. I do. I like that girls are
Well,
trying to
she's
be girls.
21, so she's an adult.
Oh, girl, hot mess. I thought
Yeah, she's an adult.
I thought this whole time when you be talking about your niece, you had been talking about like a kid. Okay.
No, no, no. She's grown now. Like it's matured. Like I can't smell the same things that I used to and have that be like something I wanna enjoy.
Mm.
It's matured, Jessica.
Yeah, you
My nose
you
is
fanned out,
matured.
honey. That's all. You fanned out. You're into better things now.
Yeah, I'm on to the next one.
Okay. Well, I haven't got tired of my Pat McGrath yet, so.
Oh no, that will never happen. She waiting for that. She waiting in the cup for that. She like, am I getting any of that? Nah, boo, nah, boo. I might send you one of them $14 ones.
Oh,
I
and
sent
you
her
know
one of
they got
those
that
to play
sale
with.
going on, so.
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying
sent
to
her
get
one of
her
those to
something.
play with, but she ain't getting my palette.
Oh yeah, the palettes. No, I had to get my daughter her own palette. Thank God. Thank
Yeah,
God. Shout out to the
Yeah.
men who love to
Send her
spoil poor little
for
me,
the
because
certificate.
that's how my daughter was able to get a couple of her own palettes. Okay.
yeah. That's cute. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Let me just
All
throw
right.
on my conclusion music because you know how we do. We always start in the time with some music. Here we go. Thank you to Jada. Thank you to DC. Thank you to DOD. And everybody who was in the chat who lent their comments and enjoyed this chat today. I so enjoyed you guys. I am taking the day off on Friday as I normally do, but Saturday I will have a special video for my members only. So you have to be a member in order to see it. And also, Sunday Sips will be live and direct on Sunday at 4 p.m. And then next week, I am going to be doing a Boss Babes. And you will want to see this because I have one of the youngest Boss Babes that I've ever interviewed coming in, and she's going to blaze the place with her little high millennial behind. She is a joy, and you will thoroughly enjoy her. That will be coming up on Tuesday. More about that on Sunday. And until next time, you've been Bellified. Take care. Peace, everybody. And I'll see you soon.